Come on, man, would you mute the thing?
Welcome back to pregame.tv. I'm your host, Marco D'Angelo, joined in studio by a very happy man. He is going to be totally unbearable for these videos that we're going to do. Ken Thomson, SportsX Radio, New York Ranger fan. Yes, I have to take him to Delmonico's Steakhouse here in Las Vegas. In the Palazzo or on the Venetian side?
Yeah.
Venetian side, and he's going to live it up. I'm picking up the tab because his Rangers beat my Pittsburgh Penguins. Go ahead. Before we start the video, have your fun.
No, here's the thing. I mean, first off, I guess he got the memo. Funeral attire for the Pittsburgh Penguin fans. Unbelievable. I mean, it's incredible. But I was thinking back to last week's videos when he was gloating because Marco's not a hockey guy, but to have a little fun at the expense of the Grinch, you know, he wanted to come out when that 3-1 lead was there. And man, when it got to Game 7, and I get the little text from Marco, Game 7, go Pens. Last text I ever got from old Marco. That was good stuff.
Yeah, let me tell you, my phone was blowing up on the other end.
Yeah,
I might get 3 texts a week from him. Yeah, I might have had, numerous texts that night.
Marco in Vegas. Hey, he got some more followers than Twitter that night.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And my Penguins, and I didn't realize this. I had a buddy of mine texted me the other night. I said, I gave him the old, what the text thing. And he says, this is the 5th year in a row that the Penguins have lost to a worse seed in the playoffs.
In Game 7 now, they're 2-7 in Game 7s.
Especially in Pittsburgh. It's just it's crazy. But hats off to you guys, and for everything Sidney Crosby has done, as good as he has been, he was non-existent in the playoffs.
Not even there
Again.
And Malkin didn't show up in the last couple games either. So, you can't blame Fleury. I know you want to blame Fleury, but Fleury had some standout games.
No, he played well. Can't argue about that. You lose a game 2-1, you can't really blame your goalie.
Nope.
Can't do it.
Stuff. Yeah, I mean, and that's the difference. The Rangers, though, when you have a guy like Lundqvist, and he only gave up 1 goal in each of the last 3 games, the 3 games that they won in a row, that was huge. And for Ranger fans, getting to the Final Four is something, but again, only 1 cup since 1940 back in 1994. You guys have your share.
All right. Well, we'll be talking more hockey in another video. Let's get to this one, and it's baseball. We're going to be taking a look at Tampa Bay at the LA Angels. This is my free play. Ken, I'll set the table on this one and get your take on it before I give my actual play. LA Angels returning home from a road trip. We're taping on Thursday night, so they're playing tonight. First game back home. Tomorrow will be game 2 of that. I've talked many times about the travel situation. I like a team. The second game, they're back home rather than the first game. We've talked about the different things. These are human beings. They've got family and stuff to deal with when they come back off the road. The Angels, they are playing good baseball right now. Entering Thursday night, they were 5-2 their last 7 after their slow start that they had, finally getting it going. They got their ace on the mound with Weaver going, and he's going to be facing Archer, who's struggled lately.
Yeah, Archer over a 5 ERA. Has only given up 3 home runs. How about Price has given up 9 home runs? Didn't realize that, but they bailed him out with 2 runs in the 9th the other night in Seattle. But Tampa, again, not really scoring. They don't have 1 guy on their team with more than 4 home runs, which is a surprise.
Yeah, Tampa, and they've been hurt by injuries to the pitching staff this year too. Tampa, and a disappointment at this point in the season. For one, I thought they were going to contend for the AL East this year, as I do almost every year. This team has the talent. Just seems like the last couple of years they haven't been able to put it together. You look at this one, and the Angels, one of the trademarks of them the last couple of years, now they're finally starting to get some better pitching, but still, if you just blindly played at home and played the over in all of the Angels games, you're showing a nice profit. They're 12-5 to the over in their 17 home games this year.
Yeah, but they're only they're under 500 at home, which is a surprise. So you expect them to get that remedied before the end of the year. And if they do, they can press the Oakland A's, who have gotten out to a little bit of a lead. I expect Texas to get back in the thick of things as well. Not sure what Seattle will do, but right now holding their own. So it's interesting, but they've got the pitching staff. And when you look at their 4 starters, Richards is off to a great start. Weaver, Wilson, and Skaggs, their record pretty impressive, 15-6 from those 4 starters.
Yeah, we'll want to see what happens with Skaggs whenever he goes through the lineup, starts facing teams for the second and third time. As we always talk about, you got a left-hander and, a young pitcher. Got an advantage when teams are not familiar with him. We'll see after they see him a few times if he is effective.
All right, Marco D'Angelo, this is your play. Let's make it official, pal.
All right, we're looking at Jared Weaver on the mound for the Angels, and boy, when he pitches at home, this guy's been money. First off, in night games this year, he's got an ERA of 2.82 and a WHIP of 1.20. That's only the beginning. When you look at what he's done overall, 5 straight starts, 2 runs or less. And here is an amazing stat. When he has pitched at home during his career, his team's record in his home starts, try 83-34. 83-34, incredible. And when Weaver's coming off a game in which he gave up only 1 earned run or less, the guy has been just nails in his next start. His team is 15-2 when he's coming off giving up 1 earned run or less. He's going to be facing Archer on the mound for Tampa. Archer's been struggling. 3 of his last 4 games, he's given up 4 runs or more. And in those 4 games, 37 men have reached base in just 20 innings pitched. When you've got a WHIP of 1.85, you put that many guys on base per game, bad things are going to happen, and that's what's been happening to Archer. We're going to go with the LA Angels on Friday night, second game back home off that East Coast road trip. Great situational play, great pitcher on the mound, and he's facing somebody that's struggling. To me, that's just the perfect storm. I'll take the LA Angels Friday night.
Yeah, and if Trout starts hitting like we expect him to, has 7 homers, 20 RBIs, Pujols has those 10 homers. The one guy that's been a bright spot, the only guy over 300 in the starting lineup, Howie Kendrick, he's been solid. 9 stolen bases as well. All
right, there you have it. We're going to be right back. Ken's going to break down hockey for you. We're going to take a look at the New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens in NHL up next, pregame.tv.